Hello again, it's Mary McLeod and Kate Driver when she joins us for Magical Menopause. This is second time we've been on Facebook Live. We started doing a BeLive broadcast, which wasn't working. And I was talking about, tonight we're talking about anti-aging and what we can do at the physical level, at the mental, emotional level, and at the spiritual level to wind back the clock. And a lot of this, I'd say the majority of this, has to do with stress. Hey Lindley, thanks for coming back on. And Kate, if you're watching, I'll try and bring you on. I can't bring Lindley on. Let's see. So Kate, when you're here, let me know. I'm just telling Kate now I'm on my time. The best laid plans. There we go. So then, see if I can still find you. There we are. Hi, Ruve. Beautiful that you're here. So I was talking on BeLive about what you can do on the mental and emotional. Well, we can take them separately, but mentally you will notice, or many women do notice, that they start to get cloudy in their thinking and they start to forget stuff. They start to feel a bit spaced out. And I was saying you need to develop new strategies in the meantime to reduce your stress. So stressing out about the fact that you can't remember stuff and complaining about it, thinking negative thoughts about yourself, complaining about it verbally is a very negative and stressful thing for you to be doing to yourself. And also taking actions like, taking actions that are also that are like eating a lot of stuff because of the stress, eating a lot of stuff that's not good for you, is not a good thing for you to be doing because, okay, sorry. Oh, back on what we just did. Yes, My Time TV, Kate, My Time TV, babe. She's still getting the hang of understanding what My Time TV is. So hopefully she'll see that we're live. Hi, Marie. Oh, it's morning there, is it? Where are you? Let us know where you are. So doing meditation is something that you can do for yourself that is very mentally de-stressing. Exercising, meditating, walking in nature, going to the beach, doing those things that now is the time in your life where you have to give yourself permission to do these things for yourself. And it's a must. If you want perimenopause and menopause to go smoothly, you have to understand that you're going through a really powerful transformation, and it's a time for you. It's your time. Like you hear a lot of women saying that who are over 40. It's my time now. Yes, it is your time, but the only person who's going to claim that time is you. You have to claim that time. You need to go and walk in nature, right? You need to do what makes you feel good and what de-stresses you. That's your job. It's not someone else's job to say, oh, you look like you need a break. Why don't you go take some time to yourself? They're not going to do that, generally speaking. You're very lucky if you are a person who has someone like that in your life and who says, go take off, I'll take the responsibility. You need to do it for you. So find some new strategies for remembering stuff by writing things down, or I mentioned the book earlier called Learn to Remember. It's got a lot of strategies for learning how to remember stuff, remembering how to remember stuff. And make sure that you're doing stuff that de-stresses you. And feeding yourself really healthy food is going to, Bev, hi. Thanks for joining us. It's going to feed your brain really, it's going to make your blood really nice and healthy. And your brain is fed by your bloodstream, right? Yes, indeed. So if you have healthy blood, really oxygenated blood, right? Oxygenated blood from walking in nature, breathing really deep. So maybe grab a pen and paper because these are pretty good suggestions for what you can do to feed your brain better so the brain fog doesn't set in and start to stress you out too much, right? So it is a little bit stressful, and stress is a relative thing, so people handle stress in different ways. If you start beating yourself up over the ways that you're seeing that you're aging, then you are going to be adding to your stress load, and that's going to make you age quicker. So what I'm saying, write these things down, exercise, helps to de-stress. Walking in nature, breathing deeply, really oxygenating your blood. Like most people don't breathe deeply. Hi, Marie, you're in Boston. Wow. So it is morning. No, I don't know what time it is in Boston. 7:65. It's like really, really early in the morning, isn't it? And Leanne says, hi, I'm suffering from hot flushes regularly. Do you have any advice? Yes, when Kate comes on, she's loaded with suggestions for what you can do at the physical level for hot flushes. So I'm going to check whether Kate is ready to come on. Is she in here? No, she is not. So I'm just going to check with her. I'll have to tell her to look on my time. TV. Anywho, it's funny trying to organize things with two people. Oh, I think she's here. I can invite her on now too. Yes, there she is. Kate Driver's watching. Let's see if I can bring her on. Add viewers. Okay, well that's not working right at the moment. So there we go. So let's talk about, does anyone have, I have and it didn't show. Okay. Kate, someone has asked about hot flushes. And actually two people. One, Marie says hot flushes, I'd rather be dead. So I think she needs some help with that. If you would like to put that in the comments, I can read it out because right now I can't bring you on. It's not working. And someone else said that she's suffering from hot flushes regularly too. And do you have any advice? So what I'm going to just mention now before we get too much further is that Kate and I have developed a program called Magical Menopause, right? That everyone's going to want to know about. And it's not expensive, and it's a way of getting all this kind of advice in a really concentrated way about the transformation you're going through in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, in your relationships, in your divine soul purpose. All of that is, in your body, mind, and spirit. It's all metamorphing. It's all transforming when you're in perimenopause. So anytime after 40, it starts to happen, and you need help through it. And I mean, I don't want to tell you what you need, but if you're anything like me, I started going through perimenopause at about 43, and it was a nightmare. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was crazy. I was thinking about going on medication because I was so depressed, and then I was elated, and then I was depressed. There was just a lot to deal with all at once, and I didn't know anything, and I didn't have any help. Hi, Charlene Lynch. Good to have you here. So what I just want to mention now, because we have the Be Live didn't work and I can't bring Kate on, but we have a program beginning in a couple of weeks called Magical Menopause, and it's going to step you through every aspect of what's happening within your body, what's happening within your mind, and what's happening spiritually for you. And I highly, highly recommend that you read about it. We're going to put the link. Kate, if you're still listening, please pop the link to the Magical Menopause page in there, or the sign up page, or even the group, and go and read all about it. So it goes for 12 weeks, and then you have ongoing support after that. So Kate and I are each presenting live modules. We each have videos in there. We have worksheets, and it steps you through. Kate she's a wealth of knowledge. She's been a naturopath for 20 years. And she specializes in women's hormones. So she knows what you're going through, okay? She is the person you want to stick close to if you're at the beginning, middle, or end of menopause, right? Because it's an ongoing process. And coming out of your shell and taking your spiritual transformation is my area of expertise. So I can help you to figure out what that soul purpose is, how your creativity wants to become expressing in the world. And that's one of the reasons why we feel so much stress in menopause, is because we know we're meant to be doing more. We feel like our life is supposed to be about more than what we're currently looking at, right? And if you guys could raise your hands, I would ask you to, because I know you'd be going, yes, I so feel that. That is the case for almost everyone who I speak to who's over 40. They're looking for, what am I meant to be doing more in the world that is soul satisfying? Not just because I need to be doing more, but because my soul wants to play at a deeper level, wants to connect with people at a different level, at a deeper level. You want that juice of life, right? So I can help you figure out what that is for you. And I step you through 12 modules. Sure, Kate, I'll try and add you again. Kate steps you through 12 modules on what to do on every aspect physically. You know, your hot flushes, everything that's going on with your hormones, what you should be eating, how to not gain weight through menopause. Like, you want to know that stuff, right? What you should be eating, how to stop having hot flushes if that's you. And then I'm stepping you through the 12 steps to really stepping into your like highest self, your highest purpose in the world. And if you're not actually going there, you're not allowing yourself your full soul's expression, you can experience a lot more pain in menopause, physically and emotionally, right? And have that sort of dead feeling like, is this all there is, right? Yeah, so we want you guys to avoid that. I really, really want you guys to avoid that. So we've put this together. It's like rock bottom price right now. It's $597. Kate, I'm going to try and bring you on now. And there's payment that you pay that over 3 months, and you have ongoing access to support after that as well. So I'm going to try. Yes, you've been going, Bev says I'm 58, I've been going through menopause for the past 10 years. Is it time to finish now? Is it time to just like go for your life and stop having to think about the symptoms, right? Yes. Okay, I'm going to try and add Kate here. There she is. Oh, it said add, and now the ad went away. So if you want to request one more time, Kate, there was an add button there, and then the add button disappeared. So if you try one more time, maybe I waited too long to add you. So there's the link, Magical Menopause. Kate's just popped it in there. If you want to go and have a look at it, I really highly advise you to do that. Marie said, I had to turn to hormone pills, but that saved your life. So yes, sometimes that can give you the relief that you need. There are natural ways of doing that, and Kate can tell you all about that. So do you know what we might do? We might actually, okay, she can't request now. What we could do, if you guys, oh, here we go, add. Oh, I'm adding her. And guess what's happening is my phone is dying. So I'm going to be going to grab my, I'm going to let Kate talk. Well, if I can add her in here. And while Kate talks, I can grab my phone charger, because this was our plan B. Plan A was Be Live. So does anyone have anything they want, any comments or any questions about what I've already been talking about? Hey, there's Kate. She's popped on the page. How you doing, Kate? I know. Fantastic. She's here. So I need to grab my phone cable, otherwise my phone's going to die and then we're both off. So how about you talk while I run in the other room and get my phone charger?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Hello, lady. We think, and sorry about I'm on my phone and I had to lean it up against my laptop because I was all organised on my laptop. And just let me know if you can't hear me because, oh, Mary, could you hear me? I'll get it.
Now I can. What do you mean?
Hi, Mary. Oh, it's because it's on my phone. Sometimes I don't have the sound turned up, that's all. So I just wanted to make sure that you can hear me.
Yep, we can hear you really well.
The Magical Menopause is going to be transformational, mind-blowing. It's going to be really something that's very worth looking into if you're having any problems through perimenopause or menopause, because Mary and I, with the experience, we've got 30 years of experience combined, and it's such a good combination. So, you know, because we're going to be work on your body, mind, and soul or spirit. So wonderful stuff. And tonight we're going to talk about, you know, one aspect of perimenopause and menopause is the aging side of it. And we did start. I'll just go. Always happens.
I'm trying to get better light because I'm very aware of my bags under my eyes. so that's something that does come with aging. Oh well, you know, I love myself as I am, bags and all.
Oh, and what's Marie saying? It's awful. What's awful, Marie? I'm not. I must have missed something. Did I?
I think she probably means menopause in general. She was saying that hot flushes were like dying. She would rather die.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I
I
think we
think
talked.
that's what she said.
I talk about hot flushes in my group quite a lot. In the I've just changed my group to it's called now Over 40 and Fabulous and F the pause. So I won't say that word in case somebody gets offended, but it's a bit like you know, let's just you don't accept it anyway. So I have talked about hot flushes quite a bit, and I was talking to Adair about it today, and one of the best things you can do, and it's terrible because they cause a lot of stress, but is reduce your stress levels. So one thing you can do straight away if you're in the middle of a hot flush is deep breathing, and that can reduce your hot flushes or sometimes get rid of them. And they say by about 50%. Now it works very well. I think it was a few weeks ago. I had somebody on the Facebook Live, and she did it while I was on the live. She said, "I'm having a hot flush now." She was having a coffee in bed, and coffee stimulates the production of cortisol. So yeah, and that increases hot flushes. So she was doing not a great thing having coffee. So any sort of stimulants will increase your hot flushes. Um, so that's caffeine, sugar, coffee, um, too many carbohydrates or really spicy foods, alcohol, and stress is a stimulant if you're looking at stress and, mind or physical stress, emotional or physical. So physical can mean allergies or overworking or being too sedentary or over exercising or under exercising or being exposed to chemicals at work. So anything that increases the hormone cortisol will increase your hot flushes. And if they're really, really bad, there's a whole range of things you need to look at doing. But one great thing, apart from the deep breathing, and that's, I don't know whether I mentioned it last week, but it's quite it's quite recommended. So I was trying to think of the word. I'd recommend to do it regularly anyway if you're going through any stress, anxiety, overwhelm, or even if you're just getting hot flushes sort of, just mildly. If you can practice deep breathing, if you don't have time for meditation, a few times a day at least, and just sit there and slow your breathing down, and just the 5-5-5 rule is really easy. So you'd breathe in slowly for a count of 5 and hold for 5 if you can, and then breathe out for 5, and do that for as long as you feel like you've relaxed and your hot flushes start disappearing. And for a lot of women, it actually gets rid of them fairly quickly. But the other thing that you can do, which is really helpful without me going into detail about what, every person needs something different with their hormones, but if it's part of perimenopause, then what happens is your progesterone drops quite dramatically, and that can cause hot flushes. In menopause, it can be because of the estrogen dropping. So if you're in perimenopause or menopause, I would look at, I'll just explain the difference. I would take magnesium. Magnesium definitely reduces cortisol and helps our body produce progesterone. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I just realised I'm looking at my laptop camera. Sorry. I'm looking up here like that. It's because I'm looking at my laptop camera. So magnesium and magnesium supplement, vitamin B6 and zinc, they all help us produce the hormone progesterone. So those sort of supplements are great as well. And looking at, like I said, reducing stress and the stimulants in your life and the deep breathing. And look, there's quite a few herbs that you can look at taking as well. Oh, hi, Alison. Thanks for joining. Pause of men. Yes, I agree. And look, that affects your libido. There's so many things that we can talk about, but we're sort of getting off on a tangent because we were going to talk about anti-aging.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and that's exactly what we both mentioned exactly the same thing. Stress is like the most aging thing, wouldn't you say, Kate? I was talking about mental and
yeah,
emotional stress, but then there's also the physical stress, and you mentioned several kinds of physical stress. Over exercising, under exercising, eating wrong foods is a physical stressor, isn't it?
oh yeah, sure. So if you've got too many processed foods and not enough fresh foods, and I think a lot of people, when they're feeling terrible, they just think it's too easy to eat something out of a packet. Have a coffee, have a glass of wine, not eat as many veggies. And look, I mean, I see people all the time that I ask them, how would you have veggies every day? And some people don't even eat them every day, which is not great. And what we found, a lot of research shows now that menopause and aging is basically a sign of oxidation. And that means that our cells are rapidly being broken down, and they're aging. We're aging internally. Oxidation basically is aging. It's free radical damage, so it means that there's toxins and things, inflammation inside your body is damaging your cells and increasing their aging. And sometimes people, that happens on the inside first, but sometimes people notice with dry skin they start to get more wrinkles, or they start feeling tired all of a sudden and realize that they can't get, and inflammation causes so many different symptoms, such as like low energy, but the aging side of it will be definitely exacerbated by your diet and stress. And that's the most important thing to look at to begin with. There's so many supplements I can recommend, but if you don't have at least 5 or 6 vegetables a day, and preferably with every meal if you can. I mean, I think it's great just to, if people say, well, I'm not going to have vegetables for breakfast. I do know some women that have salads, but you can have your vegetable juice and then you can have something else if you don't fill up on that. And I definitely don't. I need something else with my vegetable juice, or a smoothie. I call it a smoothie because it's not just the juice. You want to have the fibre in it as well. And try and have a range of the fruits and vegetables as well. What was I talking about before? Oh, yeah, because it's an oxidative stress. So because it's a state of oxidation or state of oxidative stress, this is what we need to concentrate more on, because I think even though menopause is a natural state, people get more symptoms nowadays because of stress and because of this oxidative stress. So we really need to take a hard look at our diets and what we're letting, in our mouths, and what our environment's like. Because, I mean, you could take lots of supplements and it can, it will definitely help. But unless you change what you're doing, that saying, if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got, and you'll feel how you've always felt. That is just so true. We've got to remind ourselves of that every day. And yeah, so that's part of the program.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, maybe could you take us through a few of the modules that you're offering in the 3-month program, Magical Menopause?
Yeah, sure. I'll just sort of look
Thank
here
you.
now because I have them. Oh, hang on a piece of paper. So look,
Because wouldn't it be amazing? I mean, I just wanted to say, wouldn't it be amazing if women could go, you know what, I'm in magical menopause, and and it didn't have such a bad name, because the more we complain about things, I was just talking about this on a mental and emotional level, the more we align our words with positivity around it, the more positive and magical it can get. Whereas if we're sitting around complaining about it and saying, oh, these hot flashes, and you're just digging yourself for you're creating more mental and emotional stress for yourself. So the more you can start to go, hey, I'm in magical menopause, I'm in a transformational time in my life is just starting over now, this is a rebirth, and you can start talking to yourself like that, the easier it's going to get to deal with everything that comes up in this time of our lives, wouldn't you say?
oh yeah, definitely. And that's where you come in quite a lot. I mean, the mindset's a big part of it, and looking at
Mm.
it positively, and then it's not something to dread and go, oh my God, this is a complete disaster. It doesn't have to be that way. And you can change it around very quickly. I mean, I did it with myself last year, and because I was having hot flushes, and I changed it really quickly. And I thought, oh my God, I can't, with some of the symptoms I was getting, but I was going through a lot of stress. I went through a breakup. So once I started to realize how much that was affecting me, I haven't had those symptoms anymore. And I've worked on that side of it, and I make sure that I don't get stressed to that level, and I don't let anything surrounding me affect me in that way. Because if we've got happiness inside of us and peace and harmony, we don't have to let outside factors affect us. So yeah, definitely you can change it around pretty quickly. And one thing I was going to mention, because it's summer in Australia, is with the anti-aging foods, is to actually what to avoid, because that's actually even more important, is the barbecued foods that people have so much at this time of year. And it always reminds me, because my next door neighbours near my washing line, they have barbecues for breakfast, lunch and dinner just about. Like they're always out in the back. I can smell it wafting over onto my washing. And it smells like either pork, I think it's pork or something. It's not a very nice smell. It just smells awful. That's fine. That's what they do. I'm not having a go with them with that. But if you're eating that sort of food regularly, then these sort of dry cooked meats, and even if you're dry cooking in a pan in the kitchen, then they contain ages, and ages is a short for advanced glycated end products. So it's quite an apt name for
Advanced
increasing aging.
glycated end products.
Yeah,
Advanced.
advanced. Yeah, that's right. Yes,
Okay.
and what that is you get them naturally in processed foods and sugars, but when you actually heat up protein and that combines with sugar in that food as well, so any sort of meats and processed meats, and you're dry cooking them, then it increases these ages really, really rapidly. And so the barbecued meat is one of the worst things to have, or any sort of barbecued food, but barbecued meat is a lot, yeah, a lot more detrimental to your health than people realize. And it's fun,
Okay.
but if you're going to do it, try and put lots of oil on that barbecue, like coconut oil, not a vegetable oil, because that will become a trans fat if you cook it at a high temperature. And also, it can reduce your ages with vinegar. You could put a vinegar dressing on it, or have a vinegar salad, some sort of, preferably apple cider, because it's one of the healthiest ones. And again, I'm looking at the wrong camera. So
I
anyway,
don't think anyone's noticing.
that's good. Yeah, and so I just thought I'd mention that before we jump off and talk about magical
Mm,
menopause, because it's all
beautiful.
very well that people should be eating lots of veggies, but please, if you're going to have barbecues, yeah, do it that way, or just wet cook things. I mean, the healthiest way, if you do eat meat and you're not vegan or vegetarian, if you're even fish or chicken, is to actually wet cook it. So that's either in pan with oil, or in juices, or in the oven with juices, and not do dry, because I know so many people do the dry cooking now because they're a bit afraid of oil for some reason. But the silly thing is, as in our age group, we need these good oils more than any other time, because our hormonal things are changing, and we need and we produce more cortisol, and that makes us feel stressed and overwhelmed. But we actually need more of these oils to produce the hormone cortisol, and to keep our hormones balanced, and to keep our brain firing, because our brain the high percentage of our brain is fat. So if we're not having good fats, you will feel cloudy and feel like your memory is going to crap, because you're not having good
Mm.
fats in your life. So
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's something I was mentioning earlier about getting a
yeah,
healthy blood supply to your brain at that time when you're feeling cloudy, like breathing deep, going out in nature, breathing deep, and eating healthy food. So I'm glad you mentioned the oils as well. Feeding your brain, because your blood is feeding your brain, so you need to be feeding yourself well for a healthy blood.
yeah, oh, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I mean, if anybody has questions about the types of fats, but it's oily fish and avocados and nuts and seeds, and um, like I said, coconut oils, and any sort of those cold press oils you could add to salad dressings. Um, and even if you have things like hemp regularly in your smoothies, or chia seeds in your smoothies, or if in breakfast, they can help.
Mhm.
And obviously taking fish oil or hemp oil or flaxseed oil, which is fantastic. I think I mentioned flaxseed oil last week. Um,
Mhm.
and all of these oils are actually anti-inflammatory. So if we're looking at the main thing we need to do about decreasing our our aging process, is to reduce inflammation. Because I mean, the
Mhm.
reason why we say stress is the biggest thing to cause aging is because it increases your inflammation hugely. So what we need to do is reduce stress and reduce inflammation. And there's still inflammation that we don't know about, even if you're not stressed. It happens inside our body. If you've got allergies, or if you've got too many fat cells and you've put on weight, or if you're having too many processed foods, or if you're not digesting foods properly, if you've got bad microbes in your gut and your digestive system is upset. Anyway, then that's just, a lot more detail that I was going to go into, but it's just so people recognize that there's so many different factors that will influence this aging
And,
process, and what
and
we
they have
call,
access to you. And sorry, did I cut you off?
yeah, just what we call inflam aging. That's why it's called inflam aging, because it's
Mhm.
accelerated aging caused by inflammation. That's right. You can go now, Mary.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I was just going to bring us back around to sharing what some of the modules are about, so that people know what they'll be getting if they sign up for Magical Menopause, and all these things that you're sharing, little bits and pieces of, are encapsulated into 12 modules, aren't they?
Yeah, and a lot more depth. So I'll be using little short tutorials that you can watch, and cheat sheets, and then we'll be doing live live streaming question and answer sessions every week. So my modules, yes, I have to have a look from my sheet. So I'm talking about pretty much covering every symptom you can think of. So if I just quickly read the titles, firstly, I'm going to talk about, which is really important for women to know what's happening in perimenopause with your hormones and menopause, and understand what hormones are causing what. And so if you get a certain symptom, and say if we get rid of it in a month or two and then it comes back in 6 months' time, at least you're empowered and equipped with the tools to know, that was that hormone, this is what I've got to do, and this is what's causing it. So then you understand how your body is functioning. And that's part of being empowered, is to actually realize, what's happening inside you and why these symptoms are happening. It's not just about suppressing it, because that generally doesn't work long term. You need to sort of create that lovely balance. So I'll be talking a bit about the hormones, eating for your hormones in perimenopause and eating for your hormones in menopause, because they're both quite different stages and need different nutrients. And then looking at your digestive system, like I talked about, getting your digestion right, what you need to look for, what sort of symptoms that you have. So I'm going through all of that. That's one thing I absolutely love talking about. Talking about hot flushes and weight gain and insomnia and day sweats and night sweats, fatigue, depression, anxiety and overwhelm. Then I go a fair bit into the thyroid function as well, because so many women suffer with underactive thyroid during this time. It's quite common. And then we talk about, did I say depression? Yeah, moodiness and depression and low mood. And then we're talking about libido and all the other things like, dry vagina and dry skin and foggy brain and all those other things that sometimes we don't talk about as much. But it was really important, because it can, it can ruin your relationships and your friendships if you're feeling what we say dry and cranky, which is not very nice, to feel dry and cranky. Generally, you feel dry and cranky when you go through menopause. Some women feel like that in perimenopause too, and they can lose their libido and have those sort of symptoms, but generally it really hits you in menopause. It doesn't have to. So if you're in perimenopause and you're happy to join magical menopause, then you can avoid all of these sort of things happening. So I go a lot into like,
Exactly. Yeah. So you're one of the really lucky ones. If you're just starting perimenopause, you're one of the really lucky ones to have the opportunity to actually be able to, just like I think I put in the post, just glide through it, because you're going to have all the skills that you're going to need to understand the mental, emotional, and physical, spiritual transformation that you're going through. So you're going to have all those skills on every level, which is
yeah,
pretty damn cool. I wish I would have had all that, but luckily I'm through to the other side, and I can appreciate it all for what it was, and all the learning that I did through that process that I now have to share with others who are just starting to go through it, or who maybe you've already gone through menopause, or you might be in your 60s or whatever, and you're
yeah,
still struggling to figure out what the transformation is that you're supposed to be going through on the mental, emotional, and spiritual, or you might still be having physical symptoms. So this can help you at any stage over 40. Okay.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's it,
Yeah.
because as you age, you get more prone to the low bone density, so fractures and all the bone stuff. And then you're looking at heart disease. In menopause, your heart disease doubles. That's what we talked about last week. And so that can be pretty scary. And if you just ignore it now, if you're in perimenopause, then that's not going to serve you. You have to look at it now and say, okay, well, what can I do and start doing now to prevent all this happening, instead of waiting for it to happen and then dealing with something that's harder to deal with because you haven't prevented it. If you are going through menopause, or you're beyond that, then we can definitely help you too. Because a lot of women, and I've had this quite a lot in my with my clinic clients, a lot of women do still get hot flushes, especially if they've been on HRT for a while and they come off of it, and then they're maybe in their 60s or maybe early 70s even. Sometimes that comes back. So that's a time where we can help you as well, on both
Mhm.
sides.
Mm, beautiful. So, Kate, I'm sorry, I don't have a clock. How much time have we got left? Do you have a clock
No,
there?
I can't see the time on my phone, and my
Okay.
laptop's. But
No worries.
I would love to go and eat my dinner. It's 5 to 9. So what
Oh
about?
my goodness. Wow. So we've been on for quite a while. So I might, if you have to go, you can, but I just want to finish off by talking a little bit about what my part of the modules. Hi, Kirsten. Good to see you. we have a few more minutes left, and I would love to talk about how to not have so much stress around the emotional and the emotional and mental transformation that you're going through. And that's my part of the magical menopause, is to help you find the skills, reach inside, connect with your spirit, connect with your life, and where you're going in later life. So I've got 12 modules on all that, and it's around three three things that I teach in almost everything that I do. And that is about knowing yourself at the deepest level, right? You need to know yourself. You need to know where you are in order to know where you're going. So we can spend a lot of our lifetimes trying to run away from ourselves, trying to not love and accept ourselves exactly the way we are, trying to change. And that is aging. That is stressful, to not love yourself the way you are. So I take you through a lot of processes and a lot of really fun kind of exercises to help you learn how to know yourself at the deepest level, every little last part of you. The second thing is learning how to love yourself unconditionally. So we practice all kinds of things, from mirror work to we'd be partnering up with other people on the program to do things together. We do our weekly get together on Zoom, so we're actually able to interact with each other. And it's like building a tribe in order to support each other through the whole process, because it's a big process and we don't want to be doing it alone. So even though it's an online program, you're still going to have lots of connection with each other and with Kate and I on a weekly basis. So
Yeah.
knowing yourself, loving yourself, and then being yourself. So finding out what is your life transforming into in later life, right? Doesn't matter if you're 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. You've got passion in you. You've got a message. You've got things that you feel strongly about. You've got creativity that may or may not be being expressed. But if it's not being expressed, that's adding a whole lot of stress to you. And stress is aging you, right? So when you start to play more, learn how to play, learn how to self-express, learn how to be in your creativity, it drastically reduces your stress. So it drastically reduces your aging, and you can just play for the rest of your life instead of buying into the old belief system that we have to get more rigid, like our bodies have to age and we have to feel sore and we have to complain about all these niggles and we have to roll our eyes when people say they're getting old and we have to all commiserate together. Oh, no, 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 we don't have to do that. We play together. We dance together. We can go out together. We can just connect together on a really, really deep spiritual level. And that is, it's like one of the main things that leads to longevity is having a really strong community and actually celebrating each other. So that's actually one of my modules. In module 12, we learn how to celebrate ourselves, how to actually celebrate yourself. You know, what an innovative concept, right? How to celebrate yourself and celebrate your life, and look at everything you've been through and give yourself the credit and the belief and the worthiness to step into the next level for you. So if any of this is ringing true for you, if any of this is calling to you, Kate and I would highly recommend that you go and read a little bit more about it and jump on in, because it's around half price for the next 2 weeks. Is it for the next 2 weeks or the next 1 week?
No, it's only this week. Yeah, until next
For
Monday.
one more week, it's around about half price, where it's $5.97, and it's $2.20 a month for 3 months with ongoing support after that. So that's a hell of a bargain, and it is going up to $9.97 on the 18th. So that's in a week's time. Um, oh, Kirsten, did you have any questions?
She just jumped on. I thought I'd ask while you're talking.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Because Kate needs to go eat. We don't want to see Kate hungry. She might eat her phone.
No, I'm all right. I'm pretty organized. I just
Okay.
yeah, I suppose because we've been doing this for an hour now, trying to get it worked out.
I know,
It's
I know.
it's been a
Trying to
pretty
get
long
it
day.
organized. So the link is in there, ladies, and go and read up. And we would love to see you, and we would love to answer any questions that you might have of either of us. So find us, message us, put it in the comments, and we will definitely get back on and let you know. Anything else
Yeah.
to end with, Kate?
No, no, but I hope you're all eating healthily tonight, like me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and look, we'll be doing this every Monday night, ongoing, the magical menopause hour. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you've got suggestions that you'd like to hear us talk about as well, that'd be great because we're just picking things out that we know that women need help with, and we've helped lots of women with before. If you've got any suggestions, let us know. You can always post underneath these, if you're watching the replay, then post underneath these videos and let us know, or just, Facebook us some stage and let us know. And we'll hopefully connect with some of you in other places and you can let us know there too. Um,
And you can
yeah,
join Over 40 and Fabulous, which is Kate's group. You can join
yeah,
that, and you do Facebook Lives every week in there too, don't you?
yeah. So I've just changed my Facebook group name to Over 40 and Fabulous. I think I mentioned that when we were doing the Be Live, but I don't know whether it's scrubbed or not. So Over 40 and Fabulous. I need to approve you with a photo to come in, so I know that you're a real person. So feel free to join. Yes, I do. I post and I answer lots of questions there too, and I post every day. And I will be probably trying to do 2 Facebook Lives a week now. Um, So I did one this afternoon instead of tonight because of this, and I thought it might clash. And I had an interview with Adair as well. So I will try and do it Monday night and perhaps, I don't know, Saturday afternoon or something like that. I'll let people know in the group. But if you'd like to join, and if you don't have the link, actually, I could probably put the link in afterwards. Feel
Yeah.
free to. The more the merrier, and we all support each other in that group as well. And there's always lots of questions, and we can learn from each other. And I had a boot camp 2 weeks ago, a free boot camp in there. So if you want to jump in and re-watch the videos, I do talk about how, oh, that's why I was talking about it quite a lot. All the things you can do, the tips and tricks for hot flushes. I went through sleeplessness or insomnia. I talked about anxiety. I talked about fatigue. I talked about thyroid issues, and I talked about weight gain. So I did that over 6 nights, and then I did a bit of a summary on the 7th. So you feel free to, if you want to join the group and jump in and watch the boot camp replay. Yeah, so I think that's all. It's 3 minutes
Beautiful.
past 9. I reckon I'm overdue
Beautiful.
to jump off. Been talking
Good
non-stop
to
all
know.
day, so I'm sure you are too. We've been doing this for an hour. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening. And again, any questions that people want to post, if you're watching the replay, please do. And thanks for joining. And we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye everyone. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.
See you,
See ya.
Kate.